Hello there lovely people, my name is Sophia and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. Today I am building an evergreen harbour in the Grimm's Quarry neighbourhood, and this is going to be a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, lofted house. And I'm going to be using quite a black and white colour scheme. I went for a very modern look to this building, just to try something new. I don't think I've ever actually built in Evergreen Harbour before, like an actual house. I've done plenty of apartments, but I've never done a house as far as I'm concerned. But I'm just getting quite a lot of windows from Eco Lifestyle. I'm pretty sure only Eco Lifestyle windows in this, maybe a Snowy Escape one later on. I don't really remember, but here I'm just putting together this little carport on the side here. Took me a while to decide where exactly I want to place everything, but I figured it out in the end after a little bit of moving. This house moves on the lot a little bit, but it ends up looking pretty standard because the build style in Evergreen Harbour is so simple. I don't even know what the style is considered. It's just boxes with your standard roof, and that's about it. And that's what I went for here. So we got a very boxy build today, but I got that nice big chimney out the front there, even though the fireplace is on the other side of the building because I don't care about realism like that. And this bump out over here is going to contain the bathroom, parts of the kitchen, but I'm just finishing off the roofing here. I'm going to be getting some Snowy Escape wallpaper and a Snowy Escape roof tile on this, and the chimney is painted in some Eco Lifestyle wallpaper that I don't really remember what it's called. I don't know if it's a tile or a stone. It just looked pretty neat, so I used it here. And I'm just sorting out the trims on the exterior now. It kind of cuts into the lofted space inside just because rooms are weird in The Sims, but I don't mind how it looks. And I'm just going to be getting the tiniest little balcony at the top over here, leading off from the bedroom. I only think I can fit one lounge chair on that balcony and a plant, and that's about it. But here I'm struggling to find this get to work fence that I wanted to use, but I found it in the end. And I'm pretty sure those sliding doors are base game, but I used platforms in this build, only the tiniest bit, just the tiniest bit, because I don't really use platforms all that much. They're hard and they're scary, and I don't know how to use them because I don't look at reference pictures and I don't know anything about interior design. So I used them a little bit here just because I didn't want to put the house on a foundation, but I just wanted to use platforms, so it's all a little bit higher on the inside. It also meant that I could use a taller wall height without feeling so uncomfortable because the walls were too big, because the platform was lifted up, so it made the walls look shorter. But here, I'm getting some evergreen trees because this is Evergreen Harbour, and it wouldn't be Evergreen Harbour without evergreen trees. I'm pretty sure those are just in the basic, not basic, standard build and buy catalog. I don't know, I use a lot of debug landscaping, which is why I never really know if the landscaping I use is from debug or from the normal catalog, but I'm just thinking about where I want everything to go in this outdoor space. As you can see, we got the pool, there's a pergola, I think that's what that's called. I also used a half wall here to divide the garden space, and where I'm going to be putting some more lounge chairs by the pool. I don't know, I just went for a very divided and separated outdoor space, although it flows well together, I think. But here's this pool I was talking about, just getting some ladders and deciding what wallpaper and flooring I want in the pool. I always struggle picking what wallpaper and flooring to put in the pool because I have no idea, and when I first started building I didn't know you could do that, so I just left all my pools default, so I don't really have the skill required to know what to tile my pools with. But luckily your Sims don't really look at the bottom that much, so it's nothing to worry about. But I'm going to be making a cut here pretty soon, I think, where I'm going to be just laying out where I want the plants to be. I don't think I do the landscaping until after I've done the interior, just in case I decided I wanted more room on the interior. But here I'm remembering to put windows on the back of the build, because I never do that. I always forget to put windows on every other wall except the front, and it has been an embarrassing amount of times that I have finished furnishing a build completely and realized there's only windows on the front face. But I didn't do that today, so I'm very happy about that. But I'm just gonna get a bike by this mailbox here. I think that mailbox might be from Get Together, but we've already moved on to the interior. I used quite a lot of these grey-brown woods in here, and that's pretty much the only color in the space because it's fully black and white. Very open floor plan here. I think there's really only 3 rooms in this entire thing, unless you count the entryway, then it's 4. But I'm just getting a chair and a table, pretty standard entryway stuff here. And I don't know if this is still going to be sunken, because I don't know how doors and platforms work, because I've never used platforms. So I don't know if your Sims can actually go through that door. I think they can, but I'm not sure. But this is going to be the kitchen, using my beloved Dream Home Decorator kitchen set, because I love the kitchen stuff that came with that pack. I use it all the time. I use it way too much, but I'm getting the matching cabinets up here, and it's a pretty decent sized kitchen. This is a very spacious home. It could have been multiple bedrooms if I wanted it to, but I wanted to do a loft space just because. Not really using the industrial loft kit too much, because when I started building this I didn't have that kit, but I decided to swap some things out so it would include that, because like the new rug that we got with that kit is so pretty, so I think I used that in the loft space. But I'm just dishing out the appliances for this kitchen here. I have this like strange built-in situation by the fridge. I don't know what I was doing there, but I'm also using the tool mod to lower this Paranormal hanging plant, so it looks like it's hanging from the cabinets, because that hanging plant, unlike the nifty knitting hanging plants, does not have different versions for the different wall heights, which is sad. So if you used it on the tall wall height, the plant would be like 6 feet up, or probably more than that. I don't know how feet works, I'm from New Zealand, we use meters. But just getting some clutter on these shelving pieces from Dream Home Decorator, and there was this awkward gap between the countertop and those glass shelf pieces, so I just like sized up a normal shelf and shoved it in between to fill the gap. But very minimal clutter in this kitchen. I mean, like pretty much nothing at all. I don't even think I get anything on the island. I don't really remember, but I'm gonna be combining some ottomans near the entryway here just to look like some storage. They have books built into them. I think these are city living ottomans, though I don't really remember. Just using the tool mod to like raise them to where I want them to be, and I'm just gonna get like a vase and some books on top of it. Like I said before, not a very cluttered space here, and I didn't even clutter up that bay window, which was sad because I like to do that, but the style just didn't want any more stuff on the windows. But oh, I do get something on the island piece. I get this base game plant, which I sized up and scooched right against the sink. And I can't remember if that sink's from base game or not, but it might be Cool Kitchen, might be base game, we'll see. But this here, these tables are from bowling night, and I wanted an extra long dining table, but I didn't like how any of the extra long ones looked. So I'm just merging these ones, and to stop the clipping from happening, I think I scaled the table just the tiniest bit down so you wouldn't get the weird like visual clipping bug. So it works, I'm pretty sure, and now you have the 6, well technically it could be an 8-seater, but I just made it a 6-seater dining table that's very long with one of those cubey cross sculpture things from Dream Home Decorator. I don't know what those are called. It has never occurred to me to figure out what those are called, but here I struggled so much trying to find a good black like stone wallpaper to use there, and I don't even think I end up settling on this one. I think I end up getting, I don't actually know, an eco lifestyle plaster, but I was just struggling so hard to find a good black wallpaper there. But I'm using that couch, which came from Cottage Living. I think it's like a really nice fancy couch, and I haven't used it too much just because it's so big, but there was so much room in this living room that I just decided to use it here. And that fireplace is really big and grand. It's from Cats and Dogs. I can't remember if I get a TV in this living room though. Thinking about it, I might not get a TV, but just getting some books, and I'm gonna be putting a plant in this bowl decoration that came with Dream Home Decorator just because I wanted to. It's a fern from the normal catalogue, I'm pretty sure. It doesn't clip too bad, so it's fine. And there is my absolute most used plant in the game from Dine, that giant one, which I really like. it has made its signature appearance. And that painting is from, I think, from City Living. Those paintings are giant, but I'm just getting a Moschino bookshelf, which I overuse ever since I got Moschino. I think it's in like consistently about 4 builds in a row, which is absurd. And the next build I do, I'll have to try not to use this bookshelf, but it's very hard because it's just so good. And this is going to be that long bathroom that I crammed in at the end when I was originally building this, because I forgot to build the bathroom in my first pass at this build, and I had to squeeze it in when I finished the whole thing. But here it is. There's only a bathtub in this build. That might annoy some people, but once again, I struggled with finding a decent, modern-looking shower tub combo, and I didn't want to use a shower, so you have just a bathtub. And I hope this bathtub is accessible underneath those shelving pieces from Dream Home Decorator, because from what I've found, those pieces actually block your Sims' access to a lot of stuff underneath them. Like, they can't, for example, walk underneath them, which is sad. And I figured that out in this other build I'm working on. It's in Strangerville. It's a really like crummy old saloon town looking thing, and I wanted to use those cabinets inside of an RV, but my Sims couldn't walk through the doorway underneath them, so that was sad to discover. But here I'm realizing, because I repainted the walls, the table reset. But this is very nice. This is a fully mirrored wall here leading up on the loft space. And originally when I built this house, it was just this whole wall was mirrors. And then I realized I didn't have the bathroom, so I had to put the door in the bottom left corner, but I like how it looks. And here I'm just going to be getting some get-together like posts that I struggled to place correctly here, just to line the loft space. And it's just going to be at the bedroom and the office space up here. There's a double office corner desk situation thing, which I'm very happy with how it looks. I struggled to clutter it up because if you know my channel, you know that I struggle so hard with cluttering up desks, and I don't know why. Might be because I don't have any clutter on my desk, so I don't have much experience with that. But here I'm realizing I forgot to decorate the coffee table downstairs, and I end up just getting a tea set, I think. I wanted to use those, like, lilies, I think they are, but I didn't like how tall they were. And I'm also going to be using the OMSP shelf here to, like, just set some stuff at the right height so I can, like, plop it on the shelf underneath this coffee table, because I like to do that. I've never used the coffee tables from Dream Home Decorator before, just because I always feel like they're way too big. Here it felt a little too small, but I'm happy with how it looks because it means your Sims will not have any routing issues, which is always good for playtesting. But I'm going to be getting another window here. I think this one is from... I wanted to use the Snowy Escape one, but I changed my mind and I used a base game one here. But I'm going to be getting a City Living bed here. I could have used the one that came with the Industrial Loft kit, but I think 3 builds in a row using the same bed would be a little bit absurd. So I just used the City Living one, which is this big canopy bed. But I did use the, what's it called? Industrial Loft kit. I just forgot what that pack was called, or that kit was called. Use the rug because it's really cool, and I'm going to overuse this rug now, so I apologize. But I end up getting the shelf above the bed here just to put some random stuff on. This loft space is the most cluttered spot in the apartment, just because I figured that these Sims were kind of all about appearances, so their bottom floor of their house is very clean and like tidy, no clutter, but upstairs they can kind of just let loose and let their stuff go everywhere. But I'm gonna be getting a TV up here because, like I said, thought these two were all about appearances, so they wanted their friends to think, oh, we don't really watch TV, but they have one upstairs because they are lying. But I don't know, I really like just imagining the Sims that live in my builds for some reason, just to think of the storylines that make them interesting. It really like helps decide what you want to include in a build. But I imagine one of these Sims was an interior decorator, so I end up getting the interior decorator board here. And these are dining tables that I combined together. Both of these I think were designed by Hey Harry. Might be wrong. They're CC items that were put into the base game a while back. But I'm just going to be getting a shelving piece from Dream Home Decorator here. I sized it down there just because I didn't like how big it was. And yes, I will just be cluttering up this table a lot. And I kind of struggle with the rugs up here. Not too much, but I figured it out in the end. I think that rug is from Eco Lifestyle, the one under the chairs, and I just got a bin up here. Getting a bin in office spaces looks realistic, but is annoying for gameplay for me because I don't want my Sims taking the trash into the bin in the office, but I liked how it looked. If it annoys you as well, you can always delete it, but I did get one of those speakers. Lindsay Smart speakers. I was about to call that a MySim speaker for some reason, but here you can watch me struggle to place this book in a position that I wanted. But yes, these two Sims have a PC and they also have a laptop, so you can move it around, take it to the park with you or something. But just more clutter on these desks because there was so much desk space that I had to just fill it up with stuff, even though the bottom floor of this loft was more minimalistic. I don't know. For some reason I've just been really interested in trying minimalism in The Sims recently. Hasn't been going well because I like clutter too much, but it's all about the effort. But just getting some books here from Tiny Living. I always forget those books from Tiny Living exist. That's why I've been in a few builds that I've just done and I have coming up, I've been actually making an effort to use them because I really forget they exist, like thoroughly, and they are good content, so I don't know why I use them. But here I'm just using that trick again with the Jungle Adventure basket and one of those pet beds. Those are functional, by the way. It's pretty cool. I think that was Simstopia who came up with that, but I'm not sure. And I struggled to decide what I wanted on this little bookcase piece from base game because it was awkward and I didn't want things looking too cluttered, but I think I just ended up putting those boxes from Dream Home Decorator, and then I realized that I hadn't cluttered up this bookcase on top of the desk, so I just get some more books, some plants, and that little statuette thing that came with base game, it's called the Womanikin. I use it all the time in my modern builds, and I don't know why. I just think it's a really good decoration, and I struggled to place these eco lifestyle plants because they were not cooperating with spinning, but I made it work in the end. And here I'm just going to be real quick getting that eco lifestyle like lounge chair, a plant from Get Together, and oh, I also put a wind turbine on this roof and some solar panels because I just really think that they fit in eco lifestyle, not in eco lifestyle, in the world that came with eco lifestyle, which is Evergreen Harbor. And yes, you could see me counting the tiles when I was on the roof there just to make sure the solar panels are centered, because it kills me so much when they're not centered. And I'm not very good at eyeballing it, so I counted. But here I'm just pulling out the plants that I want to use. Mostly white flowers here and a lot of bushes. And yeah, I'm just going to be kicking off the landscaping here. I don't keep all of it in, otherwise this video would have been way too long. But I keep some of it. Those low-lying, the pale yellow flowers, I think they're called. They're from base game. I love them. I use them so often. And that taller shrub is also from base game. I think pretty much all of the landscaping is from base game, except for those pale lilacs, which came with Eco Lifestyle, because I wanted it to match the world. The only really signature things here in Eco Lifestyle and the normal, like the not port world, is lilacs and like very boxy builds. So I tried to include that here, and you can see this little separated nook here, which is like framed with different heights of half wool. That's going to be a barbecue section in a minute, but I don't think I decorate that till the very end. I don't know, but you can see this is going to be the last phase of landscaping that I show on camera before I just cut to the chase and go on to decorating the like outdoor spaces. But just getting much more of the plants that I used before. I don't really know what to say during landscaping, and I've right now like neglected to decorate this little front porch thing. I think I just end up getting some potted plants or something on there. I didn't really know what to put there. I could have put a chair, but I didn't like how that impacted the overall look of the build, just thinking about it from a screenshot perspective, because I've been trying that out recently. I've been picking an angle that I want my build to look really good at, so I make a lot of design decisions based on that one specific angle, and I know lots of other simmers do that, and I just wanted to try that out for myself, and I'm really happy with how this build ended up looking. But here are those plants I ended up talking about, just some more from Seasons, and I tried to put a rug on the deck, but I decided not to. And these plants, these like potted plants, I think they're from Get to Work. I've never used these before in my life, and I doubt I will use them again anytime soon, but I liked how they looked here, and like I did earlier, just framing where I want the lounge chair zone to be with that half wall there. Just gonna get like some drinks and like that basket of like summer stuff from Seasons with like the towels and stuff and like the pool noodle, I'd assume. Getting some floaties from Island Living because I really like those and I think it's cute that your Sims can use them. And struggling to decide which water texture to use. And now we are working on that barbecue area I talked about just before. I also get a bar here, a bar that uses the matching like textures from these counter pieces. I also end up creating a what's that called, woodworking section underneath the carport, and I use these same counters, but I'm just using the tool mod to resize these little brick pieces that came with Cottage Living in the like live edit menu, but I just wanted to use them. And this super long table is from Seasons, just getting some Dream Home Decorator chairs to go with it, one of those rugs from that pack. And yes, I'm not really sure what I put on here, I just think some plants and some candles, but like I mentioned earlier, I did think that these Sims, like, they really like having parties, they like to throw parties so with all their mates, so I gave them lots of places to like sit and hang out. And here I'm going to be using these benches that came with Eco Lifestyle, merging them into the pergola with this like fire coffee table, I don't know how to call that, from City Living, and I imagine that would just be a really nice spot to hang out, especially at nighttime. So I was happy with how that area came out because I didn't want to just put more plants over there because I felt like there would be a bit too much landscaping even for me, but just getting some like debug bottles on the bar. And then I'm not sure, I think we're going to be moving on to the like woodworking section, which is in the carport. And it's fully accessible despite the fact that the car is in the way. That's a live edit car. I also got one of those like recycling bins from, what's that pack called? Snowy Escape, because it's a very nice bin that I don't use very often, and that's the outdoor trash can for this build. But I also got another bin over here, just a base game like chair next to the woodworking thing. Had to use the tool mod to lower this plant down because it was flying thanks to the magic powers of platforms, but just gonna be getting some like dirt and some more plants in this corner, nothing too special. Don't really remember what else I get over here. I like how the space looks though, but since we're coming up to the end of the video, I just wanted to say thank you for sticking around. If you liked it, you could hit the like button or subscribe to my channel to see more from me in the future. You can leave me a comment to tell me what you think, because it would absolutely make my day, and you can find this on my Origin account, which is NZ Omega. I hope you have a really great day, and I hope you like this build, and goodbye!